Well, good morning, beautiful, and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. We are going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together enjoying some beauty on the outside and some beauty on the inside. I have had a tremendously busy this week. How was your week? Well, be sure to let me know in the chat. I'll have that turned on just a second. I just realized I'm not going to be able to hear your response. Okay, so I hope that you have had a marvelous week this past week, that you have enjoyed memorizing Jeremiah 29:11. Man, I've been singing that song in my head all week long. If you don't know what I'm talking about, head over to my YouTube and check out the music playlist, and you'll see the verse song from last week, Jeremiah 29:11. Well, actually, the last 2 weeks. Anyways, it's been marvelous. Just came off of wrapping up a vision week, and that has been amazing. You'll see a video come out about that later. I hope that you will check out the book as soon as it's available so that you can have that be a part of your next, this 2025 year. All right, so what are we going to be doing today? Today, we are going to be looking at an easy makeup look. We are going to be using the Magic Mini Palette from Juvia's Place. We are going to be dabbing into some sparkly blue, some pink, a little bit of kind of a silver going on. And then we're going to top that off with a beautiful KVD lip. That one's called, was it like Tropical something? Anyways, it's a beautiful pink color. So whatever colors you are using, you are going to need a dark, two mediums, and a light. So go grab your palette. If you got the Magic Mini, do that. Go grab your palette, grab your brushes, grab your lashes, because you know we're going to finish it with some false lashes, and then come on back and let's get going. A little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. All right. Love that theme song. Okay. Seriously, I've caught myself waking up and singing it in my sleep. Okay. So, what do we got going on today? Well, first, we're going to take a look at our Bible verse theme for the podcast, and that is Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And then we're going to take a look at our verse for today. So our verse for today is, wow, that's a little hard to read when you're looking at that small. Our verse for today is going to be Proverbs 16:3, and that is put God in charge of your work, and then what you've planned will take place. Now, wrote another song for you this week, so get ready for that music to come out. I think it'll come out, the song itself will come out on Saturday, so be ready for that. But you'll be singing it all week long. Added a little bit of verse in there too, so get ready for that. I think you'll find that exciting and definitely an aid to help you memorize your verse this week. So let's get back to what we're doing here. Let me get the chat going. There we go. Oh, you know what we don't have? We don't have the verse scrolling across the bottom of our screen. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Put God in charge of your work, then what you've planned will take place. Proverbs 16:3. There we go. Now, that's kind of a vicious loop there. Well, not vicious, delightful. So what it's not saying is this is not a verse that supports, what is that called? Where you think you're going to get riches out of God. This is not that. This is talking about put God in charge of your work, meaning it is symbiotic. It is you and God, with God being in charge of it, under his will, working together for what it is that you have planned. So make sure you read scripture in context, because that's important. The prosperity gospel. There you go. That's what I was looking for. It's not that. Okay, so we have got that scrolling across your verse here now. Screen, let me get that chat going now. There we go. So while we are live, any question that you have, go ahead and ask that live, and I will do my best to get that asked and answered while we are on here. So try to keep it to makeup, but yes. Okay, so we are going to start by prepping our face like any good paint job. We are going to get our primer on. So we're going to go with the Professional Primer from Benefit. And we're just going to give about that much right there is enough to do your whole face. So we're just going to work that a little bit between our fingers, and then any place that you have fine lines and wrinkles, maybe you've got a little bit of separation in your foundation that typically happens. If you have drier skin, then this or whatever primer you're using is going to help hydrate that skin while you are going throughout your day. And you're going to just be amazed at what a difference that makes. Now, today's shadow colors that we're using, we got a little bit of frost going on. Not any glitter, but it's kind of shimmery and sparkly. So we're going to use the Eye Prep Eye Prime Primer to get our eyelids ready for making the most of what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a little bit of a shake, because every once in a while, this does get a tiny bit of separation to it. So we want to minimize that. So we're just going to use like literally a dot of that. And that is well enough to do both eyes. Now I'm going to transfer it to my middle finger. And then can I do this like ambidextrously? I've never tried this before. Let's see what happens. Okay, it looks a little weird. Okay. Well, that's okay. I got it done in half the time. And you're not going to see it, so it doesn't matter if it's like splotched or whatever. Okay, so, wow, we got that done. I have to remember I can do that with both hands at the same time. Okay. All right, so I know I amused myself. So we're going to go ahead and do our concealer, get our face ready to go, evening out that color. So here we go. I'm using the It Cosmetics by Under Eye. This is the shade 11 Light Nude. And we're just going to use a small, well, if I can get, it's kind of cold, so it's coming out a little slow. There we go. We're just going to use a tiny, and what is with me doing wrong fingers today? There we go. Transferring it to the correct finger. And we're just going to put that big picture where we want it. So any place that you have discoloration, maybe some hyperpigmentation from acne scarring, maybe you've got some sun damage, you had surgery of some sort, just kind of get that big picture where you want it. And I just sort of, if I get too much in one place, I just sort of dab it and then spread it where I want it. So we're going to let that warm up to our body temperature, especially because it's so cold here right now. I'm not in Houston though, so it's not as cold as what they have, but it's still cold. I think we're supposed to warm up to the 50s later today, so it'll be good. All right, so I'm going to be using the Juvia's Place. This is the JP102, a flat foundation brush. Now that everything's kind of warmed up, we're going to give that a nice evening out here with that brush. Just blend everything into every crack and crevice you got. So I'm going to go right here in the corner of the eye and then under the eye with that. And then we're going to blend that out onto the cheek here, because I do have redness on the top of my cheeks. So while we are doing this, go ahead and give me a shout out. Let me know where you are coming from. Whatever platform you're on, that'll show up here for me. Theoretically speaking. Okay, so now today we're going to be using same foundation I used last week. I just really love the coverage on this. So if you struggle with finding something that can give you enough coverage, I know several times I work with Betalago clients, and they, because you've got such a contrast between the light and the dark, sometimes that can be troublesome trying to find a foundation that can even all of that out. And let me tell you, this will do the job. So I would use the Bye Bye Concealer wherever you've got that, and then use this over the top of that. In between those two things, depending on the differentiation between the light and the dark, you may need to add a little bit of color correction before you do that, but I think this would be a great choice for you. So we're going to go ahead and start. This is the I Am Magic Juvia's Place, and I am the shade 710 Maricao. I'm never quite certain how to say her stuff. I was even born in Africa and I don't know how to say this stuff. So literally a little tiny bit is all that you need of this. This little tube is kind of small because a little bit goes a long way. So we're going to take that and we're just going to get it big picture. Okay, now I think I didn't do enough. That'll do the bottom part of my face. Okay. So now we're going to blend that foundation into that concealer. using the edge of that to kind of work around the nose. I guess it depends on your nose shape. If you don't have whatever is happening to my nose happening on yours, you may not need to worry so much about that. And we're going to blend it out to the chin to make sure that we do not have like a harsh line for that blending out. And let me just get a little dab on here so that I can do my forehead. There we go. I'm just kind of, rather than like putting out a bunch of it, I'm just going to kind of tap it because I just need a little bit. Yeah, that'll be fine. Just sort of a cheat way of getting a little tiny bit out. I don't like to, every time you let product out, you're spending money. So let's make a good use of our resources. And we're just going to blend that around our eyebrow. What is up with my mouth? Our eyebrows. And making sure we get in the corner of our eye there. We're going to have a little shimmer, so we want to make sure that everything's like all even right there because we don't want to draw attention to foundation blending problems. Swooping up under the eye. There we go. Getting around the edge of our lips so we can keep our lipstick in where it belongs. You know when you hit that over 40 thing, you start getting little lines, and we want to make sure nothing's being creeping out. So that's kind of weird. I don't have any lips at all right now. Well, anyways. Okay, so now we have got some beautiful color, even playing field as far as color goes. We look like a ghost. And now we're going to set that so that we can do our contouring. That's not true. We're going to use a contour stick today. Then we'll do the setting. So this is the Fenty and this is Amber. So this is a contour stick. We're going to use that today. We're going to use the same, well, actually I meant to grab the other brush, but I didn't. So we're going to use the same brush that we use for a powder with this. It'll be fine. Okay, so we're going to take that. We're going to go from the top of the ear. We're going to kind of come around in a little bit of an arc, heading towards the corner of the eye there. We're going to stop it a little bit short today. And let's get it to really kind of cut us in here. So we're going to go from here to about here. We're staying above that hollow of your cheek. And we're going to go across the top. We're going to go underneath. And with this, you can really see like where you put your line. So it definitely helps you to stay in control of it a little bit better. And then we're going to come down the nose. Going to hit both sides of that. And then just under the tip. I think I'm actually going to come up a little bit right here. There we go. Don't let me forget to blend that out. Okay. So now we're going to take our contour and we're just going to blend that out. And then we're going to go up the side of that temple. And then across the top of the forehead, we're blending that into the hairline. I'm using circular motions with this because it is a stick. I really, really wanted to like the Juvia's Play sticks. I love the way they blend out, but they're all either too yellow or too orange for me. So, need a little bit of a cool tone, yet not that. So I'm sure it works great if you have a little bit more pigmentation to your skin, but on me, less pigmentation, they were a little kind of off color. Okay, so now we're going to take this. We're going to use the skinny side of this, and we're just going to blend that out under the jawline. Just kind of work over that. And then let's come up into that little triangle I made right there. Same thing on the other side. You're just working back and forth. You can kind of come down a little bit if you want. Just make sure you don't go up. We're trying to cut that jawline. And then we're going to come up into that little triangle we made right there. Let's not forget the nose, because that's a little crazy. Here we go. We're just going back and forth over it. Just blending that out. Let's grab the tip of that as well. Nice. Okay, now we are going to use a liquid blush and a liquid highlighter, but those we're going to do after we set it. So I am using the Juvia's Place. This is the I Am Magic setting powder. I am the shade White Sands. So I am going to grab my powder brush. Sorry, losing my mind for a second. Here we go. This is the Juvia's Place JP 101. Love the shape of this. It's kind of pointy, yet not so much. So it works great around the nose and the eye. So we're going to take that and we're going to set it into the powder, but then we're going to tap off the excess. We don't want like a whole bunch on our clothing or whatever you're wearing right now. So we're going to take that. We're going to tap it in there. We're going to go around the eyes first. So just kind of set it there and then just brush it in gently. We're just giving it a nice light setting. Then we're going to do that same thing. Tap it in. Catch your one cheek. Blend it all the way down to the neck. Every place you had foundation, you want to get this. You don't need to be like, super freaky precise about it. We're just softening out that contouring and then setting that foundation. And we did put that over the edge of our lips. So we want to make sure we set that as well. Really help that lipstick. And then we're going to get up on that forehead, working that right up into that hairline where you had that foundation. I just go straight over the brows. So it depends on what product you're using as to whether or not that's going to be a good idea for you. But with Fashion Color Hair, the fact that I'm using a mascara as a brow product, it'll be fine. So, all right. Our colors today aren't too dark, so we don't need to worry about putting any extra on the top of the cheek for fallout. We are good. Okay, so now that we've got that, let's go ahead and do the highlighter. So I am using the Juvia's Place. This is the Starstruck. So we're going to do that, and we're just going to use our fingers to blend that out because I think it's easier. Okay, so we're going to take the Starstruck. I'm just going to take the extra gooby off the end. Gooby. My dad used to use that word to describe the on the top of ketchup. Does anybody else use that word gooby for that? I don't know. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to give ourselves 2 dots here. And then let's just do one right up there. And then we're going to put it in and we're going to do 2 dots here. And then we're going to give it 1 right there. And we're just going to we're just going to take 2 fingers and we're just going to tap that around. Just tap that around. We're going to right there to the center of the eye. And you can just see that nice glisten. See that nice glisten? All right. And then we're going to add a little bit of color for what we just did. And this is the Juvia's Place. What do we got? I think it's Lily Glow Blush Lily Glow. So these are very pigmented. So you do not want to be getting like all crazy with this. We're just going to do between the bronzer and the highlighter. We're going to do 2 dots. I didn't even dip that bad boy back in there. Just 2 dots. Going to take the same 2 fingers we were using, and we're just going to tap that out between the bronzer and the highlighter. And I want to stay not to go past that. I know I told you they were pigmented, right? Whatever's left on my hand, I'm just going to give me a little bit up here. There we go. And you can see we got a little bit of color, a little bit of glow. Nice. I love the sparkly from this right here. Just very pretty. A lot of times I'll go back over when I'm all done. I'll go back over which is a little bit of highlighter on the top. With this one, you do not need that. It gives you like all kinds of goodness all just by itself. So let's go ahead and say our verse together. It is scrolling across the bottom of your screen. We'll give it just a second to roll back around. Okay, here we go. Put God in charge of your work, and then what you've planned will take place. Proverbs 16:3. And I was going to actually roll that song while we were doing our makeup, but I thought, you know what? There's a lot of rolling over that song. So be looking for that on Saturday. Okay, so now I am going to be using our lip products for today. We are going to be using, this is the NYX, what is it called? It's the hot pink. It's a retractable lip liner in hot pink. And then we're going to be using the Fenty. Now this is a special edition case, but we're going to be using the Fenty, and this one is called Tropic Doll. And it is just, look at that. That's just so nice. It was a seasonal color. I'm not even sure if you can still get that, but we're going to hope for your sake that either you already have it or you can get hold of it. So let's go ahead and line our lips first. Gonna grab that hot pink pencil, and we're gonna line just to the outside of our lips a little bit. Give us a little bit of that extra real estate for our lips. Gonna start with that nice V there, and then we're gonna round that out to the outside edge. There you go. Then we're going to line the bottom. We're going to start out in the center. Remember, we are just outside that lip line. All right. And now we're going to take that and we're going to round that up to the outside corner. There we go. Take a step back. Make sure that you like the shape. Everything's even on the right and the left. I think we're good. Now we're going to take that lip liner and we're going to line one more time just to the inside. Just a little bit lighter pressure. And you can kind of feather stroke this one. Our lipstick and liner are about the same color today, so we're not doing this for the ombre effect, but we are doing this for extending the wearability of the lipstick and keeping our lips the same color all day long. So now we're gonna grab that Fenty, what did I say it was called again? Tropic Doll. Look at that. It's very close to MAC's Flat Out Fabulous. Very, very close. A little bit different, but very close. So we're going to start out in the center and let's get our Cupid's bow really nice. And we are covering over the lip liner. So you're going like right up to that lip liner. They're about the same color. So if you stay just to the inside, you'll be fine. But we're just going to color that up because we're not ombre-ing today. And then fill that in. All right, and now on the bottom. Yeah, that's just a beautiful pink. And we don't, well, I guess we do have a pink in today's eyeshadow, but just kind of a nice, I don't know. Makes me want to eat strawberry shortcake. I have no idea. Okay, so what are we going to be playing with? We are going to be playing with the Juvia's Place. This is a Magic Mini. And here's where we're going to be living today. So today we're going to start up here in the Keezy. And then we are going to move down to the... I thought it was Koji. There it is, right here. Koji. Then we're going to be in this one. Then we're going to be in the... I don't know if you say that IFE or LFE. Anyways, this dark blue one right here. And then we're going to use a little bit of the Yara And then we're going to finish up the Yamoja. So moving around this palette quite a bit, but I assure you it's going to be fun. So we're going to go ahead and grab our fluffy brush right here. And we're going to go in that Kizzy. And we're just going to give it right on that tip. And that's going to go right up here on your brow bone. This is just giving us something to blend into. Just a nice neutral. Let me see. I see some chat going on here. Oh, I didn't tell you the name of the brush. I'm so sorry. This is the Morphe M441. Thank you for that reminder. And that's just going to go up on the top of that brow bone there. We're just going to set that down because we're probably going to refer to that later. And then I'm going to grab, without knocking a bunch of things over. There we go. This is a Morphe M321. Just kind of, it's a little bit of a bigger smudger, blender. Okay, so we're going to grab that one, and then we are going to be in this right here, Koji. So we're going to do it just on the tip, just like we did with that other one. So just on the tip there, and that's going to go on that eye socket. I know. Hang on. Hang on. Trust the process. I know it's a little crazy color. Hang on. And that is going to be what we're going to blend out. So we're just going to kind of go back and forth on that. Blend that up into that. What's that other one called? Kizzy. And then we're going to bring it in just a little bit. And then let's do that same thing on the other side. So we're finding that socket bone. And we're just going right on that socket bone. It may have a fancy name like your orbital socket bone. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. That bone thing you can feel right there. And we're just going over that, working that up into that Kizzy up there. And then we're going to just take that and bring it in just a little bit. There we go. So now we got this kind of crazy thing. It's okay. Hang on. Now we're going to grab a smaller smudger. And this one is the Morphe M431. And we're going to be in this color that I don't know how to say the name. IFE? Is that a capital I? Or is that a lowercase L? Maybe it's LFE. In that case, what would it be? LF? I don't know. Okay, anyways, it's just, I'm getting distracted. Oh, you made me snort. Okay, so we're just going to use the tip of that and just get that right on that tip. That is just going to go on this very outside corner. Like, don't overpack that. Just give a little bit. We're going to go right up under where we just put that Koji. And then we're just going to give some depth on this outside. Like not quite a third. I guess it'd be a quarter. Right there. And we don't want a hard stop. Give it a little softness to it. We're just going right under, which is why we're using a smudger, so you can be a little more precise about where you're placing that. I'm actually going to bring this one up just a little bit. There we go. Now, I'm not even going to change brushes. I'm going to keep the same brush, and I'm going to do Yara. We pretty much got everything off because we have deposited onto our eyelids. So we're going to do right there on that tip and go in that Yara, and we're going to go about halfway. So now that whole thing is going to go halfway across, and you're going to blend it into that shade name we don't know how to say. Going right up to that, what was it again? Koji. And then we're working over. There you go. Okay. Now, if you have any fallout at this point, go ahead and grab your fluffy brush. And we're just going to do that as a precautionary. Make sure that we don't end up with any of that as we go to our next color. So, super excited about how this is coming out, aren't you? I know, it's a little crazy. Hang on. Okay, so I'm using the Morphe M124. This is just kind of a nice, it almost acts like your finger. So we're going to take that and we're going to do that in the Yamoja. And we're just going to get it just on one side. And this is going to be your finger, placing that Yamoja right there. And we're going to blend that up to that Yara. And just work those two together. There you go. Right? Look at that. So you've got kind of a silver blue sparkly happening. And then we're just going to blend them together. Actually, I'm going to work that up just a little extra. Now this is just taking that Elfie, the dark blue. And we're just bringing that up over here just a little bit using the like flat tip of that. Okay, now we're going to take our fluffy brush. Okay, so we are going to grab a small smudger. I'm going to start out with this here. This is the Real Techniques 87. I like because it's nice and wide. So we're going to start out with that one and then we'll switch to a smaller one. So we're just going to get the edge of that in this Eif. Let's just call it Eif. That's easier. Okay, so we're going to go on the outside corner here. And we're going to put that on the bottom, about half of our under eye area. And you don't want fallout on this one, so don't put too much on there, just a little bit. There you go. We're going to work that up around the corner into the top corner. Wow, I'm super liking this. We're going to switch to our smaller brush. This one is the Morphe M508. And this one just gives you kind of a nice definition. So under the eye where you're working on a little bit smaller of an area, just kind of helps you out a little bit. So we're going to use this Yara here. And we're just going to get it on one side of that brush. And with the top of that pointing towards your eyelid, we're just going to get it right here under the eye. That's just going to bring that color over a little bit. And then blend it into that darker blue. Okay, So the brush that we started with, which was the M321, and that was the Koji. We're going to take that same brush, ever so small an amount on there. I mean, like literally, I'm just taking the tip and getting it right there on the very tippy tip. We're going to take it from the outside corner and we're going to do it right over. See, you just get that hint of it. See, just that hint. So we're just putting ever so small, just on the very tippy tip of that. Nice. Okay, now we want to take that silver and we want to bring that in just a little bit. So let me see, what brush do I got left? Let's actually, we're going to go back to the 508. Let me just wipe that off. I'm going to grab a little bit of that Yamoja. Sorry. Doop, doop, doop. And we're going to put that right here in the corner. And that's just going to get a little bit of shimmer in there for us. Now I want to make sure that we blended out that top really good. So we're going to go back to that 441 we were using in the Keezy. We're going to just tap it a little bit and just blend that out right there. Nice. Okay, so here's what we've got. I know, super pretty, right? Okay. Let's give us a little bit of liner, though. We want to finish this out all nicely. So we're going to grab that Too Faced Killer Liner in the Killer Black. And let's go ahead. We're just going to line like about a quarter of the way. Just where we put that dark Luffy color. So right here, outside corner, just in a little bit. Okay. Same thing on the bottom, just where you have that dark blue. Wow, I'm super liking this. Okay, go from the outside corner. Right there on that lash line. Same thing on the other side. And we're just looking to give a little definition. We're not trying to like black it out and do like a smoky thing. Just trying to balance it out a little bit. Okay, awesome. Now we are going to be wearing false lashes today, so I'm also going to liquid line that. I am using the Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid eyeliner. I think it's waterproof liquid eyeliner. Anyways, so make sure you're storing this upside down with the tip down. That way your tip is always moist and ready to go. Oh, I said the M word. Is always wet and ready to go. Okay, so nice pointy tip on that. We're going to just give us a nice thin line from the outside corner to the inside corner. Okay, same thing on the other side. So this is going to do a couple of things for us. This is going to give your lashes a nice runway of where the band is going to go. And if your band is not 100% snug up next to your lashes, which can happen as you're learning how to do it, it will forgive any sins of gap. And this liquid liner is very forgiving. So super easy to use. One of the things I like about this is that if you have always said to yourself, as I had, I can't use a liquid eyeliner. I just can't get it. I can't make it work. It's too complicated. This thing makes it super simple. So get you some of that. All right. So while we're waiting for our eyeliner to dry, we're going to do our brows. So I think actually, let's just go ahead and say our verse together before we get to our brows. So it is scrolling across your screen. Put God in charge of your work, and then what you've planned will take place. Proverbs 16:3. So for me, because I have fashion colored hair, kind of a plummy, strawberry, winey thingy going on, I have to get a little creative with my brows. Purple, pink, green, whatever. So I'm going to be using the Bad Gal Bang mascara, and this is in the shade Wild Plum. So whatever your brow product is, this is the time for you to do that. Make those bad boys shine. Want to make sure, I mean, like right now, it's so kind of, like there's no frame on the picture, right? Because there's no brows. So God didn't give me, I love my lips, but God didn't give me great brows. So we're going to help them out just a little bit. So for me, I'm going to take this mascara and I am going to very gently mascara those brows. I'm touching the skin ever so slightly and then just flicking up. And you can see, wow, look at the difference between the two sides, right? Yeah, amazing. Okay, so we're going to do that same thing on the other side. The one thing cool about using a mascara for this is you don't need a brow setter because this does both things at once. Okay. Yeah, they're reading about the same spot. All right. So now we have got our brows done. Let us get our eyes completed. You know what? I should have turned the heater on before I started that. Okay. So this is the Grande Lash Lift. We're going to press that once, turn that on, press it twice, let it get to its high setting. The tip is red. So we're going to wait till that tip turns white. So we're just going to have conversation while we're waiting on that. Okay, so did a couple things this past week while we're waiting on this. And no, let's just go ahead and let's dive into some conversation. So when we get back to the mascara, we're going to be using the Bad Gal Bang, and this is just the shade black. This is just going to help our lashes to be the same shade as the false lashes we're putting on. So when we get to the false lashes, I'm going to be using the Zaria, which is a Juvia's Place. Absolutely love these. If you have not put on a set of lashes before, check out the tutorial from 2 weeks ago. I believe it was episode 46, where I did the trim and the putting on of this brand new set of lashes. So let's see. Oh, we're almost to there. So some great things about this little tool. So make sure you do the, oh, you know what? I didn't share that with you. So all of the products that I'm using in the podcast are going to be on the website. So you can find everything. Oh, well, there it goes. Okay. So a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com. You're going to see a shop, and that has all the products that are used in today's episodes in there to make it super easy for you. So go ahead and find this Grande Lash Lift and get you one of those, because let me tell you, this thing's awesome. It's a USB charge, so you don't need to worry about batteries or anything. It has these little teeth right here on the inside, so you almost can't, unless you like smushed it, you almost can't touch it to your skin. So I mean, it's only a USB. It's not going to get that hot, but it gets hot enough to curl your lashes. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this on the lash right at the base and then just press it against our skin and let it curl it. So now the tip has turned white. Let me see if you can. There you go. Okay. So we're just going to set it and we're going to say the Bible verse. They want you to do it for like 10 seconds. So we're going to do it on the inside, on the outside, in the center, and say the Bible verse. So here we go. You ready? Whatever your lash curler is. Here we go. Okay. I should have waited till it came back around. Okay, here we go. Put God in charge of your work. Then what you've planned will take place. Proverbs 16:3. Okay, on the outside. Put God in charge of your work, and what you have planned, there you go, will take place. Proverbs 16:3. In the middle. Put God in charge of your work, and what you have planned will take place. Proverbs 16:3. I'm telling you, you will have your verse memorized in no time if you do this. Okay, that and the song that's coming out tomorrow. You'll love it. Okay, so I'm just going to brush it up a couple of times. Just make sure I got some nice upward momentum happening. There we go. And you do one eye at a time. So now I've curled that side. We're going to mascara that. And we're just looking for a light coat here, just so that our lashes will blend in with the false lashes. So just make sure you cover every lash. If you have black lashes already, you might be able to just skip this step. But mine are kind of a clearish white, so it would look weird. There we go. So now we're going to do that same thing. I'm going to go ahead and close that mascara all the way, not letting the air get in there. We're going to do that same thing on the other side now. So I'm going to get that ready. And I'm going to say, well, let me wait till the verse scrolls around. There we go. Okay. Put God in charge of your work. Then what you planned will take place. Proverbs 16:3. Now the outside edge. Here we go. Put God in charge of your work, and then what you have planned will take place. Proverbs 16:3. It's very hard to do this and read at the same time. Okay, here we go. Right in the center there. Put God in charge of your work, and what you have planned will take place. Proverbs 16:3. And then we're just going to give it a couple of brush strokes up. And I think I may have got this thing during a Black Friday TikTok thing or something like that. But I've seen them through that link on Amazon. I've seen them go on a sale. And then, you get it for like almost half price. So just keep an eye out if you want one of those. Okay, and then we're going to mascara on that while that curl is nice and curled there. And again, we're just giving a nice single coat so that our lashes will blend in with the false lashes. And if false lashes are not your thing, do not worry about that. You can go ahead and do your couple coats of mascara. And then you'll be good. But I think you'll not realize the full benefit of this eyeshadow look unless you have false lashes on, because you'll see the difference here in just a second. So we're not putting false lashes on the bottom though. So let's go ahead and give a nice coat of mascara on our bottom lashes. So we're just going to make sure we're going from root to tip. We're sweeping up under the underside. There we go. And then same thing on the other side. Sweeping up under the tip. There you go. Okay. One last little spot. Okay. So you can see that it's starting to look like a finished look now. So super excited about this. I mean, I just am really digging that. Okay, so let's grab those Juvia's Place. This is the Zaria. we're going to go ahead and grab our velour lash tools, and I'm going to take that lash off by grabbing the outside edge and pulling that off the tray. And then I'm going to do that same thing on the other side. These are a flared lash, so it's super easy to tell the inside edge from the outside edge of these, just because it's narrow on the inside and a little bit wider on the outside. So the benefit of that is that you can easily tell which eye goes to which eye. So that's awesome, because as you wear your lashes, they are going to start to form to the shape of your eyelid, and it's just going to make them have a better fit. So I am just, sometimes you get a little bit of adhesive on there, so I was just making sure I got that all nice and cleaned off. So one of the tools that I love about the velour is this one right here. Because you've got this comb on the outside edge of it, if you have any kind of adhesive that gets stuck in the lashes, you can literally just put that lash in there and then comb it through. So super awesome tool for keeping your lashes clean and brushed. So again, we're going to grab that lash right in the center. We are going to grab our lash adhesive, which is the Allure. This is the 18-hour lash glue. I think this one does the best, but you know, you do you. I have a lot of eye sensitivity to a lot of different things. So black typically has silicone in it. So latex. So I can't do that because I don't have any latex allergy, but apparently my eyes do. So if you've ever experienced eye watering or itching or anything while you're putting on false lashes, that could potentially be what's causing it. So this one I have found to be very user-friendly. Love the paddle on this. So we're just going to go across the top of that band. And then we're going to put it in one more time, and we're going to get the back side of that band, that little flat side of that band. We're just going to ensure that these bad boys stay once we get them put on there. We're going to set that down in front of us, and I'm going to grab the other lash. And we're going to do that same thing here, right on the top of that band. Might be time for a new lash adhesive bottle. Okay. And then on the inside of that lash band. Okay, there you go. Now you'll see when you put this on, the adhesive is very white. Do not worry about that at all. This is going to dry completely clear. And so you will not even see any of that as it goes along. So it takes a few seconds for that adhesive to kind of dry down just a little bit. You want it to go from the white to a little bit of the clearishness. That just means your adhesive is going to be a little bit tacky and about ready to be put on your eye. You can do, if you have like watery eyes, you can put the lash adhesive with the brush tip kind on the lash, on the band, and then put the two together. I haven't found that to be necessary with this adhesive. It has done well. I've done people's lashes at weddings and things, and it held up. So we're going to grab that lash right there in the middle, making sure that you know which end is the inside edge. So you're going to put it on the right eye. And this looks like that adhesive is not quite dry. So we're just going to fan that for a second. And we're holding that in the middle. And we're going to set that right on the middle on that eyeliner line. And we're going to come to the inside. And we're going to put that on the eyeliner line. Then we're going to go to the outside. Put that on the eyeliner line. Then we'll come back. Just want to make sure that everything, well, that was fun. Don't get your adhesive on there. Okay, so we're just kind of smushing them together, making sure that everything is in the same space so it looks like a seamless application. We're going to take the tip, work your lashes into those lashes. Just make sure everything is all nice and happy, because we want to do this one time in the course of a day. And then we want it to last all day long. All right. So you can see the difference between the two sides now. And you can see how the lashes really bring that whole eye look together. So let's go ahead and grab the lash on the other side and let's get that other one on there. We're going to fan that for just a second. Wow, I see that looking down. That is a beautiful, I love that shadow today. Okay, so we're going to set that down in the center over here. And then we're going to put the inside down right on that line. We're going to grab the outside edge. And then let's go ahead and make sure that these are all together. There we go. I'm just going to use the tip, work my lashes into those lashes. There we go. Just pressing in. Wow. That came out really pretty. Liking that. I like the pink lips on it. I hesitated about the pink lips, but I think it's a very, very nice balance between that. Okay, so let's say our verse together. Put God in charge of your work, and then what you've planned will take place. Proverbs 16:3. 16:3? Yeah, 16:3. Okay, so now we have got everything where we want it to be. We are happy with how it's looking. I'm digging everything. You know, let me just go ahead and, just because we were working with such a dark color, I'm going to go ahead and grab the powder and the bullet. And we're just going to get a little of that on that tip there. Let's just make sure we don't have any fallout that I'm just not seeing. Actually going to clean everything up all nicely. There we go. And because we use that nice shimmering highlighter from Juvia, we don't need to add anything extra on the top there. So that is beautiful. So let's just go ahead and set it and we'll be good. This is the Juvia's Place Ready, Set, Sealed. We're just going to give that a shake. There we go. I know. I love that smell. Okay, so thank you so much for hanging out with me here today. It has been a delight to spend some time with you. I look forward to seeing you throughout the week on social media. So let's just go ahead and say that Bible verse together again. So that is, put God in charge of your work, then what you have planned will take place. And that is Proverbs 16:3. Now, last week we were, it disappeared again. Okay, let me see if I can get this for you. This is not what we were working on. Let me see if I can get this for you. Here we go. I don't know what is going on with its mind there. Thanks. There we go. Okay, ta-da! There you go. That was our Bible verse from the last week. So I know what I'm doing. I have it all planned out. Plans to take care of you and not to abandon you. Plans to give you a future that you hope for. Jeremiah 29:11. Okay, so just a reminder, we should have this next week. I know I've been saying that for a little bit, but let me tell you, I was working so hard this week on the editing because I really, really want to start with the book of James, or the Color Me James, in February. So we are so close. There will be pre-orders this next week, so you can go ahead and get ready to get your copy. The spiral bound version of this you'll need to get from me, but then the perfect bound version, which is like your traditional paperback binding, will be something that you can get from Amazon. So whichever your pleasure, there'll be pre-orders available this week, and then we're going to work through the book of James together and memorize the book of James in 2025. So I am so excited to be able to do that with you and to give you this new way of working on scripture and memorizing scripture. I think it is just going to be fantastic. So let me go ahead and get back over to just me. If I can find my cursor. There we go. All right. So again, it has been a joy to hang out with you. I look forward to seeing you this next week on social media and then also on the website, a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com. And let me go ahead and send you out with a blessing. Due to copyright limitations, I can no longer sing this to you. So let me just speak a blessing over to you and then we will pray. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. Number 6, 24, and 26. Oh my goodness. Heavenly Father, how thankful I am for each one of these women that has hung out with me here today live, that would be spending time with me on social media this next week. I just pray that you would bless us with a great amount of blessing this next week. Father, as we work diligently to memorize this verse from Proverbs, that you would help us to repeat it daily, that we would treasure it, that we would say that to ourselves, and that we would use that also to encourage and edify others. Father, help us to share the scriptures because that is one way that we will be certain to be able to get it memorized. I pray that you would help us to enjoy the word and song that you have given us this week, and that we would just spend time treasuring and relishing our relationship with you. Father, we thank you so much for your son, Jesus, and what he has done for us. And I just pray blessing again on all of these women. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Well, it has been a delight to hang out with you here today. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. So, goodbye. God bless. Love you. Mwah.